Very much. Tori, well, maybe you've been faced with some challenges before and you thought, I'm going to give up. Well, there's a difference, though, between giving up and giving in. Leadership expert, public speaker, author, easy for you to say. Pete Blank joined us now to talk more about this. I will mention, I remember, going through 2 days in football.
Yeah.
And there were times you thought about quitting, but
Right.
there's no way you're going to quit.
Right.
Yeah.
Athletes talk about this all the time, but it happens in business and our personal lives as well. And I just want to make the distinction today because a lot of times people think that giving up is a bad thing and giving in is a bad thing. But there are some positives, and we want to make sure we get the nomenclature correct when we're talking about
So let's
these
talk
two
about
things.
ways this could work.
Okay, well, the first thing is, when is it okay to give up? Now, in my mind, giving up is not the same as quitting. Okay? To me, quitting means I don't want to do this anymore, whatever. To me, giving up means I've tried, I've exhausted every resource, I've taken the guitar lessons, I've tried it for a year, I've done this, and at the end I'm going to stand back and just sort of give up because it's just not working for me. And sometimes that's still a win. Sometimes it's still a win because you might get back your sanity, you might get back some more time, you might get back something else you can work on, and so giving up sometimes is okay. To me, it's different than quitting.
Yeah, because I gave up on trying to make it in the NBA. Sometimes you just got to realize your limitations.
I gave up on being a pro wrestler, so sometimes you just have to do that.
Yeah, you just got to do that. And we saw this in the speakership election. That there had to have been some give and take there.
Right, and that's where I was thinking about this is the whole idea of giving in. Because sometimes when you give in, you think, well, I sort of gave up. And to me, giving in can be strategic because giving in means, you know what, I'm going to be a servant leader. If there's a conflict in the House of Representatives, there's a conflict in my relationship, there's a conflict with my best friend, if I decide to give in and say, okay, you take this, I'm deferring to you, I'm letting you run with it. What this can also do, believe it or not, in some relationships, when you're in a romantic relationship, it gives you credit for future opportunities because you sort of gave in and said, okay, you get to choose the movie. You get to choose the restaurant. We've got some relationships that fail because people don't want to give up.
Right.
They put their feet in the ridiculous.
Right.
Whereas giving in kind of means, okay, let me go ahead and let someone else take control and I can still win out of that.
And that requires a person not to draw a line in the sand.
Correct. You've got to be a lot more flexible, and you've got to put your ego aside on both of these. A lot of times our egos drive what we want to do to be successful. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to give in. Sometimes those can come with some rewards.
Yeah, and there's actually a coach in Tuscaloosa right now that learned I had to change the way we do things, especially offensively, in order to keep winning.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so who knew leadership expert, public speaker, Pete Blank would talk about relationships as well as Monday Motivation.
Bring it all together, man.
We do. All right, Pete, thank you so much.
Have a good day, buddy.
All right.